I'm from the boots, so you know I'm a soldier. What's going on? What's going on? Full 94 podcast here. I'm Miles Austin. That's C. I'm just happy to be here. How are you feeling today, C?
I'm feeling amazing. I missed you guys. I'm back. I wasn't here last weekend, so I'm glad to be here.
Big facts, and I'm glad you are. I'm glad you're back. But you do have some big, big news that you got to be a part of.
Yes.
Absolutely, just great stuff that you're doing basketball wise. Um, Interviews, hot takes. Uh, I mean, everything in between. I think you just got a good thing going right now, and you got to
Mhm.
be a part of some good things. So we're gonna talk about all of that. We got tournament talk. We got the Nets and the Sixers. Are the Nets a lock for the tournament? Do you want to watch the NBA playoffs or March Madness? And who you got winning in the NCAA tournament? So I want to make sure you stay tuned. We got a lot coming your way this episode. Where we? Episode 17.
Yes, sir.
17 weeks in a row. We have been doing this thing, man, and we are so excited. We got more coming, and we got comments already. I'm trying to see. Hold on. Good morning, team. Loving the backdrops. Appreciate it, Ari. Loving it. Hey, so tune in. We got a lot to talk about, and I can't wait because I'm here, and she's here, and we're doing it.
Hello. And
So
we
let's
we about to
get
get it popping.
it.
Ayy, I got the power. I got the power. I got the power with me. I got the power. I got the power. I got the power with me. This how euphoria. Feeling so glorious. Forever victorious. Heart of a champion. I got the power with me. Go get the championship rings. I got the power with me. Power with me. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
15 fourth quarter points by Kawhi Leonard.
What's going on? What's going on? 494. We are in the building. This is Miles Austin. That is the wonderful and beautiful C.
Good morning.
C, you got a lot that you are doing right now.
Yes.
A lot that you have been doing, a lot that you have coming up. I'm going to get out the way.
Okay.
I'm going to move, and I'm going to let you talk about what you have on the docket, what you have been a part of, and what can we expect moving forward from Sports Talk with C, 494, MTV Sports, and what you just got done doing. So I'm going to move, and I'm going to let you talk because, girl, you got the juice. You know what I mean?
Hey,
Go
so
ahead.
I was media at the Big East tournament last week.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start off saying I was so nervous when I walked up in there. I felt so lost. But they were very nice. They treated me like I was a professional. The first game I watched my cousin play. So that made it a little bit easier to get comfortable.
Makes sense.
And after the game, we got to do post-game interviews. I was so scared. I'm like, I hope I asked the right questions. You know me, when I get excited, I get tongue-tied.
Yeah.
So I asked the questions. I felt like I belonged there.
Yeah.
I would say they gave us food. They treated me like royalty. The pass, like to be able to just go through all the crowds and be like, no, I'm walking in. I don't need to go through the line to get in. So that was nice. The overall experience was dope. Hearing the players, some of them players is feisty on that court. Yes.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah, so that was dope. The hardest part was not cheering, especially games like the Seton Hall and Villanova game, because Seton Hall has a lot of grit to them. The coach, Anthony Bozella, he is amazing.
Yeah.
He gives credit
That's
to
dope.
every team, every coach. He thanks the media for being there. He said my name. He loved my nails. He loved my fit. But the best part was at the championship game, I was like, oh, what am I going to ask to the seniors on UConn since UConn won. And I was going to ask them, since this was your last year, do you feel like that this tournament was, hey, Neffs, do you feel like this tournament was a milestone because it's your last year? And then when the lady from, I think she's from FS1, asked them that on stage, I knew I belonged. So I'm just ready to sign up for more media credentials. Hopefully I get my WNBA one.
Yeah.
And
you already know.
I got some fire interviews coming, so hopefully everyone stays tuned.
Yes, sir.
One that is coming up is with this urban average program. It's a sports agency for youth in urban neighborhoods. So that's going to be coming up soon. I'm going to have some more overseas players come in. I'm trying to get some people to come on our show. But that's all going on for Sports Faculty right now.
I mean, I think it's absolutely awesome just to be able to be a part of something like that and really just getting your feet wet in something that you're going to be doing for a very long time. You know what I mean? I'm gonna go ahead and speak that. That's so dope to me. I mean, like, tell me about just the experience of the first thing you felt, right? As you're walking in there, you realize I have media credentials. Let's say your first post-game interview. Aside from the nerves, what did it feel like to be in the room? What did it feel like to be a part of other people who have been doing it for years, and you're stepping out there on faith and saying, look, this is what I'm trying to do. This is what I'm trying to make happen. And right now it's happening.
I got this. This is where I belong, because I was the first one to ask a question. I had multiple questions ready. Even when other people took my question, I was able to get a question really fast.
Yeah.
Gino was intimidating. I'm not gonna lie. Gino is very intimidating. No one. That's probably why he has so many championships under his belt.
Yeah.
But the feeling of knowing that you picked the right path for your future makes me feel like going back to school after 10 years was worth it. So
yeah, I like that, man. So, what was your biggest takeaway? What was your biggest takeaway from being a part of an experience like that? One, and two, knowing that this is just the beginning.
My biggest takeaway would be authentic, be you, don't change from who you are, and you'll always succeed.
Yeah, I like that. Now, I'm going to speak to that only because me and C were FaceTiming. It was like 2 days before, I think, or a day before. No, matter of fact, I think we were getting ready for the second day.
I was getting ready for the second day, yeah.
For the second day, and you were going up there for the game and the tournament and doing post-game, and you were like, you know what I did this week? And I was like, what? He was like, I got my nails. And
I got my long nails back. Yep.
Now, mind you, C has not had these nails for a minute.
I had them 2 years, probably.
2 years. And she makes the decision to, look, this is me. This is who I am. And I think that comment about you being authentic was absolutely true, because that's what you did. That's what you walked out, and you made that happen. The long nails was crazy. I'm not going to cap. When C faced her, I was like, what? What you mean? So no, this was me. This is who I am. This is what I've been doing. I just haven't had it in a while. See, and they're right there. You gotta love it, man. You gotta love it.
Yeah,
but
so
with C's drip, the fits, the nails, everything, she was authentically herself, right? And I absolutely love that about what you bring to the table and what you're doing. And I expect this just to be the beginning of what Sports Talk with C, with the 494 MTMV Sports, is all going to be about. Because you're talented, you're good at what you do,
bro.
And, well, we're so excited to have you a part of the team, especially MTV Sports as a whole in the family, but especially here on the 494, we get blessed with your views and your analytics and everything in between. You're absolutely dope. So I want to tell that from you, from me to you. Absolutely.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate it.
Absolutely love you. And
thanks for everyone tuning in.
Oh, of course. I will say this, though. That'll segue into our next topic about being authentically themselves. And Connie would love this topic if he were here. But I know where I'm going with it. I don't know where you're going with it. But I'm gonna throw it to you, see where you go, and see if we go in the same place. We watched the Nets demolish the Philadelphia 76ers. Now, mind you, KD, they live for these moments. It's what KD does growing up in the DMV. and like you could tell on his face he was ready for a fight. Kyrie ready for a fight. Joel was ready for a fight. You know the name I didn't mention? James Harden. But I'm gonna throw it to you, and I want to see what you have to say about watching the game. We watched it, we saw it. It was over in the first quarter. They were up by double digits in the first quarter, and the game went on from there. What do you take away from watching the Nets beat up on the 76ers in the way that they did?
That's it. James Harden is going to do what James Harden does in big playoff moments. Don't show up. I've been saying this. Everyone's like, oh, he's going to the Sixers. I'm like, did you guys forget that in playoffs time, he does not show up to any games? And he had 11 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists. He was 3 of 17 in shooting. Like the first 5 games, the first 5 games, he had 24.6 points, 12.4 assists, 7.6 rebounds. He shot 53.1% from the field, 44.8% from 3. And you mean to tell me when the Nets come in, you don't do any of that?
What was it? He was 1 for 11 his first 12 shot? His first 11 shots?
Yes.
He was boo. He was boo.
No.
He was boo. But I think this is more of a testament to, and I know Connie, even if he's watching or if he'd be a part of the show, he hates when I go to it. But this is a testament of who Doc Rivers is.
He definitely don't know how to make. He didn't make no adjustments.
Bruh, he made no. We're gonna bang the ball in the paint. We're gonna throw to Joel Embiid, and then in the first quarter, even really the first half of the first quarter, it was working. But as soon as you realized you were down by double digits and you weren't coming back, you were trading free throws for threes. It wasn't panning out, and he never changed. He never changed the game plan. I'm like, dude, this is not how y'all play basketball. This is not, and not in the terms of like, this isn't how you play basketball. It was in the terms of that's not 76ers basketball. The 5 games before that, where they won every game with James Harden, was not throw the ball into Joel Embiid and let him work, and we'll go inside, outside. It has been Joel is a moving big. He can shoot from the 3. He's a 3-level scorer. So he can shoot from the 3, mid-range, and at the paint, can back you down, can bang with the best of them. But he's not Shaq. He's not throw the ball in there and move. You know what I mean? Like I think he had 15 free throws in the first quarter?
Mm-hmm.
Like that was absolutely amazing. But Doc never decided to change that game plan, and that's why he lost this game.
Did you see what he said?
What did he say?
He said, I just think for the entire game, we didn't have the pop that we needed. We turned the ball over too much.
That's it.
That's all he said.
That's all you got, Doc?
No, that's what James Harden said.
That's what James Harden said.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there was no pop to be had. You threw the ball into Joel.
The entire game.
Go get us points.
See,
you were trading little missed layups and missed free throws for 3.
I don't like him. And everyone goes, so how you hate me? It's
James
in moments
Harden
like this, he shies away from the moment, like all the time. I thought it was going to be a game like the past 5 games, and it was going to be a battle, especially with Kyrie being there, because with Kyrie and KD on the floor, it's ridiculous. But no, he didn't.
Mind you, they ended up losing by double digits. 76ers got embarrassed.
29, I think. Yeah.
They lost by 29. Was the end?
Wait, hold on. Let me get. Yeah. 129 to 100. 29 points. Yep.
Them boys is poo.
I hope everyone pipes all that Sixers talk down.
Got to. And you want to know the craziest thing about this thing? They beat them boys by 27, put them over their knee and spanked them. And Ben Simmons didn't even play.
And they piped that Ben Simmons booing, though, real quick.
Hey, say, bro. Chill out now. It don't make no sense to me. You lose by 29 points. One of their stars isn't playing. Ben Simmons is on the bench in street clothes. And before we even go on to that, shout out to Ben Simmons, man, with all the talk and all the stuff that's been happening with your run in Philadelphia. 4 years. You go from injury your first year, win rookie of the year, and next year. But even then, shout out to him, man, with going through the mental stuff that he said he was going through and popping out and taking on the Philly crowd. He didn't have to come to that game. But I'm glad that he did. I'm glad that he came out. He warmed up. He said, look, he's basically letting them know, look, I'm coming. And I'm coming soon. They went back and changed to his street clothes. and looked pretty darn good with the sweater and the chains.
He
My
looked
man was
happy.
killing it.
He looked happy. He felt like his team was there for him. And then at the end of the game, when KD spoke about Ben, it was like, yeah, I know he was probably like, oh, my team has my back now. Other than
For sure.
what, the
But
Sixers.
you appreciate that, though. You know what I mean? You appreciate a team being there for you, right? One, but also that team being able to hop in and say, look, come sit on the bench with us, make sure we're good, and we're gonna go out there and beat up on a team you used to be a part of.
Beat them
a team
down.
that you don't want to, that you sat out the first half of the season. He lost millions of dollars. And because he stood for something, he wanted to get out of there. And he stood for it and he made it happen. And now
stand for something or fall for anything.
Yeah, it's a big fact. So I think that will lead us into our next topic. This is me. Let's see. Are they a lock for the NBA championship? Are the Nets going to take it with no comp? You tell me.
So the next 15 games, Kyrie's only a part of 4. 4. He might not even be able to play in the play-in tournament because they're 8th in the East right now. And according to ESPN Basketball Power, they only have a 3% chance of winning. You're muted.
Oh, my bad. 3% though. That's it.
Because, all right, you think of it, they go to the play-in tournament. I think they have to be against the Bucks. Come on. Come on. And then if Kyrie doesn't play, no.
So, okay. So, let's think. So, you think against the Bucks, Kyrie might not be able to play. Out of the last 15 games,
he's only eligible to play for
4 of the games he can't. There's only one he can play. 11 of those games he can't play in.
And he might not even be able to play in the play-in tournament if New York City does not change their vaccine mandate.
Well, let's look at this. I mean, once Ben Simmons come back, obviously Kyrie, you know how I feel about Kyrie. But if Ben Simmons is back, then they can take that risk. Ben said he's not Kyrie, right? But
against Milwaukee,
I mean, I'm not saying they'll win,
but you said exactly.
I'm just saying
you see why they only have a 3% chance of winning.
They have a good chance. You know what I mean?
Well,
when KD's out there, you got these guys playing. Bruce Brown, like these players who are playing. Seth Curry,
went off. Woo.
Going this thing. Patty Mills, they like shooting threes, and this is what this team does. This is what they have been doing.
Holiday right now.
Oh, facts.
He's won. I liked him, but this season he's like, you're gonna see me this year.
Facts.
And every game where it seems like they're not gonna win, here comes Holiday just in the fourth quarter going crazy, and then I like this little thing. So I don't know if they're gonna make it past them.
Then what place are the Bucks in right now?
I don't know off the top of my head.
Top 5, I want to say.
Yes,
but definitely. They play in the play-in tournament. They get the 7. Let's say they get the 7th seed. They'll play the 2nd seed, and which will probably end up being Chicago, Milwaukee, Miami. Yeah, like I mean that's something hard. But I think Katie's a hard out, regardless.
Yeah. I just love the fact that it seems like the West and the East is gonna be some competition.
Oh yeah, I'm excited about that.
Me too. So
definitely excited about that. I think that to me was a testament to 1, the work that they put in, and 2, that you don't need to. It was the adjustments for me. Watching that game, Philly and
the Nets.
Brooklyn. Yeah, I'm trying to understand why you never changed it. Like you sat in that game and you watched your team go down by double digits. So what does that look like in the playoffs? What is it like in the playoffs for not only Doc Rivers, but the 76ers as a whole, James Harden, Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey? Like, what do these players look like when they're being led by Doc, who believes in let's run it into the ground until it works? We watched it in Los Angeles when they lost to the Nuggets, I want to say. Blew the 3-1 lead. But it just doesn't make sense to me. I'm like, Why didn't you change it at all? In the first quarter, you knew they were going to lose this game.
No, right off the back.
There was no
Right
doubt.
off the back.
There was
And
no
then I
doubt.
was like, we'll see. On Twitter, I think everyone was saying what we always say about Doc. What type of adjustments he'll make. He really doesn't know how to make any adjustments. And what happened? He didn't. And
They didn't. They got beat up. I just don't understand how a coach, a championship coach at that, doesn't make the necessary adjustments to beat a team that's literally busting you in the face with threes, but it doesn't make sense to me. So I mean, aside from that, aside from the 76ers completely blowing that game, we're gonna see this again, right? We're gonna see this again. We're gonna
I hope not. Well, if we do, it better not be like this because I don't. That's boring.
Yeah.
Game over in the first quarter. That is so boring. Those are like all the UConn games I just watched.
Let these teams see each other again in the playoffs. Are we expecting the same?
If they make it. You know, I don't want Philly to win. I don't want Brooklyn to win. So at this point, if they make it, we'll see.
You want Chicago to win.
The East, yes, I do.
You want Chicago to win. I am a fan. I like the Bucks coming out the East. And honestly, I know you might hate it, but I like the Nets coming out the East as well. I mean, I just
hate the fact that the Nets have to play the Bucks first.
Yeah, that sucks.
That's the problem. That's where you come in with your stop, like block. That's Milwaukee's block. Like, yeah, you're not about to get past us.
So they play Milwaukee, they lose. That's what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Because mind you, KD took them to 7 games last year.
But there's not a 7th game. There's no 7 games. It's 1 game.
I hear you.
And is it Ben's coming back? But is really 15 games enough? Does he even play in these 15 next games they have?
He has to. You don't want if you can avoid it, you avoid it, right? As a coach, as a player, as chemistry, everything in between. Like, if you can do it, you need to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And with 15 games left, if you can avoid him waiting to the playoffs to play, that's what you want to do.
I would love to see him play and go further in the playoffs because I like Ben. I really like Ben, especially because he was supposed to be little LeBron.
Yeah.
But
facts.
When I was looking at the tournament, I mean the playing tournament yesterday.
Shout out to LeBron with the 50 point last night.
So that's the only thing that's stopping me is that the fact that they would have to face Milwaukee first.
Sorry, I want to shout out Brian that 50 piece he did last night. But we're still gonna be in the playing tournament. So I mean, I like it. I think what we're looking at is going to be a good NBA playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
From the West and the East. I think that's going to be big and leads me to my next question. See, you got to be a part of the Big East tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Got to be a part of watching these college kids out there and competing, right? You've also been a part of WNBA circles and everything in between. I'm going to ask you this, and you answer me truthfully. March Madness is upon us.
Mm-hmm.
It's coming.
Mm-hmm.
It's here, and we're going to enjoy it. On the men's side, you have Gonzaga, Arizona, my boys down there in Kentucky. Women's side, you got the usuals, South Carolina, UConn, Baylor. In the NBA, you have the Warriors, the Suns, the Bulls, the Bucks, Eastern, Western Conference. Answer this to me truthfully. In the month of March, would you rather watch March Madness or the NBA playoffs?
March Madness all day.
All day.
All day.
No
You
hesitation.
crazy? No hesitation. Yes,
No
I love basketball. So the love for basketball came from the NBA, but March Madness is lit.
Different.
especially with all the upsets that come.
It's a one-off.
Like last year, I don't want to talk about last year. Duke lost. Anyway. Yes, things like that.
Duke was the Elite Eight. No. That was the year before Zion.
They lost, I think, in the second round last year.
Yeah, it wasn't great. It wasn't great. Now, I mean, last
So
year
everyone's bracket last year was
everybody was blown. Everybody's bracket.
Yeah,
was
because
blown.
what was it? UCLA. That's where I like really came to see Drew Zhang. I don't even know if I'm saying his name right.
Well, you're right.
But yeah. But yes, March Madness is so much more fun. Like, and then you play at work, you got your bracket, you're trying to win. So March Madness is for the culture. Like the month of March, you have to be competing in the bracket. Like you have to be tuned in. Yes, for the culture.
Except for the culture. I mean, I don't know if I would have said it with no hesitation. However, I am agreeing with you when it comes to watching March Madness. I'm excited about teams going out there and giving 110% in a one-off. You know what I mean? Like, if you lose, you have to go home. There was no double, triple, tournaments, none of that. It's one
But just
game.
think of all the teams that punched the ticket to go dancing that never been. Yeah. So now you have teams that are working off of
What is it, 64?
And grit.
64 teams on both sides?
Yeah, hunger and grit. And you never know what they could do. Like,
I like it. I really do, and I like it.
You see, South Carolina got upset in their championship,
and it's crazy. Like, I love the fact win or go home. I think that's the biggest thing. Like, I think that's why people like the play-in tournament.
Mm-hmm. I thought I wasn't gonna like it, but I did.
It's a win or go home. Look, hey, 8th and 7th played each other for 7th place. 9th and 10th play each other to play the guy who lost in the 7-8 game, and that's for 8th place. So the team playing for 8th place. Right? If you lose, your season is over.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I think they liked playing with LeBron and Steph last year when he hit that three, and it was like, I couldn't even see. I couldn't even see. You know, I just shot it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And Steph was like, bro, stop playing.
Right.
Don't play with me like that, bro. But they had a good – you enjoyed watching two juggernauts go at each other. Did we think that we see the Lakers and the Warriors in the play-in tournament? No. We didn't think the Warriors would even make the playoffs, let alone the play-in tournament.
But when they got a shooter like Curry, there's nothing you can do.
You can do what you want. You know what I mean? When you have that, it's like, hey, just shoot the ball, bro. But I think that's why people like to play in tournament, because one of those games is win or go home. Your season's over if you lose this game, bro. So go out and play ball. And I think that's what people love about March Madness. You go from, I mean, once you start at 64 teams, and you go into the Sweet 16, the Elite 8, the Final Four, and you play the championship game, you have fought through, 4 or 5 rounds, or five or 6 rounds of this NCAA tournament. 64 teams to 2 teams.
Mm-hmm.
That's absolutely crazy to me. So you go, 64, 32, 16, 8, 4, 1. So you go through 6 rounds, and in that 6th round, if you win, you have won everything. And you can loot with one loss, everything's gone.
Mm-hmm.
All the work you put in.
Right.
Everything you put at the beginning of the season, which is so crazy to me. And I think that's why people love the NCAA tournament so darn much, right? Because it just doesn't make
Look at last year. It was one off of on the woman's side, off a putback. She missed a putback.
I remember that.
Missed a putback.
Yeah,
and that, you know, right.
Hurtful.
And then watching the games like throughout the season, she continues to miss that shot. But yeah, I'm excited.
Put it out like that.
I have I think she should just stay away from it, to be honest, until this time. For the women, I would say I'm going with Stanford to win again.
Ooh,
I have to go with the champs.
Okay.
I love Haley Jones.
Come on now.
My favorite college coach is Tara.
Really? I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
So, are you forsaking UConn, Baylor, South Carolina, like these teams that are great women's teams?
Like, no, I'm ready to see Ryan Howard go off from Kentucky. I'm ready. What? And for her to stay at one school for 4 years, come and beat how many top teams in their tournament, like in their conference?
That's a big
their
fact.
level I'm ready for the women's games.
I
Hmm.
think I'm in the same. I think I'm in the same boat. I think I will obviously choose the March Madness because of the one-offs and 64 teams down to 2. That's women's and men's. Um, they just play hard, man. They just play hard. Now, if I had to pick a team to go for the NCAA girls,
It's so hard.
I don't know, man.
Because you got
Because
Dawn
man,
Tough. Then you got the GOAT, because Gino is the GOAT,
I
as
mean, it
everyone
doesn't.
would say.
You always got to worry about Gino. Always.
Right.
Like, there's
Man.
never been a season where you're like, I'm straight. They don't worry about UConn.
Then you have Baylor with Nalissa Smith. She's on a whole other tangent right now.
Facts.
I'm ready for the games to begin.
Yes. And once we get through that, it'll be absolutely awesome, and then we'll get into the NBA playoffs. I mean, it feels good. And NBA, playoff basketball is intense. It's not a one-off because you have to lose 4 times to be kicked out of the NBA playoffs. But I'm always looking forward to it because teams play. I'm always looking forward to the play. Well, I say always. We just started it, but I'm looking forward to the play-in tournament and what these teams have to offer in these one-off games. Like, I know I'm excited for both, but obviously March Madness is it's a different animal, a different beast. Games are played during the day. You're at work trying to figure out who lost, who's playing, what time they play. You're like, hold on, I'm gonna get to you. What, they lost? Duke is up by 2. Okay, all right, cool. Kentucky's
Right.
down by 3. All right, 3 minutes ago. Sir,
The intensity behind it that's what makes it March Madness.
crazy,
Like, you
right?
can't miss. Yeah.
I'm thinking the same thing. I love all of that. The games getting played during the day, like everything. And you're always checking for something. You're checking your phone. Who's down? Who's this or who's that? Give me a quick second. I'm trying to look at the score. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like that's the great part about it. You know what I mean? And NBA playoffs, you're at home, you're kicking it, you're chilling. It is what it is. What can you say? What can you do? So I'm with you on that. I am definitely with you on that. Let me see. Let's see. And look at that. Look at that count. Brackets drop tomorrow. All right, we'll bet. I'm looking at it. I'm excited. I think this whole thing is going to be dope. Are you a lock in for? I think you said the women. You said women's. Did you say men's?
No.
Who you got? Talk to me.
It's just like
Yep.
the men sometimes just be. I want to go with the hometown. I really, really do. But
Yep. And tell them who your hometown is for those who don't know.
Providence Friars.
Yes, sir.
Just my cousin's the coach. They had a great season, though, even though they lost the Big East tournament.
I mean, they're in 11th place right now.
Even though they lost the Big East tournament. I think because they lost the Big East tournament, they're gonna come out with a different type of energy. So I'm gonna stay with the hometown.
I mean, they were literally, 2 games, really 1 game out of first, kind of tying, and 2 games out of like first locked up. So I'm not mad at that pick. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna go with the hometown for the men.
Okay. I'm not mad at that. I think there's always going to be good teams on that side with Gonzaga and Arizona, Kentucky, UCLA. Obviously, Providence is there in the mix. Kansas, Villanova. Like, there's just always somebody to fight for something. And sometimes you just have a bad game, or sometimes this just wasn't my night, or it was my night and I dropped 30. You know what I mean? Like, I love that too. A player drops 27 points and you're like, this dude went crazy. You know what I mean? Like, NBA players, like, they average 28 points a game or 26 points a game, and they're like 25. He went wild tonight.
Right?
Like, that's
he went off.
Oh yeah, I think that's dope to see. So I'm going with my hometown. I'm going with Kentucky. I was born in Louisville, Kentucky. So all of my family are Cardinal fans. I mean, are Louisville fans, and I'm kind of like the oddball out with all my blue on. Early on, we moved to Cali, so that's where all my West Coast stuff comes from, or the Dodgers and the Lakers. Las Vegas, all you know what I mean. So I think I spent it was probably most of my first year of life in Kentucky, and then 5 or 6 years in California, and I kind of grew up here. I credit Atlanta for growing me up, as being like my town I grew up in. But I always got love for Kentucky, and I think that I got to go all blue and winning the tournament. But there's always something that does happen, whether we lose in the Sweet 16 or Elite 8, and we just always get close. Haven't been there, here in a while. But I think I'm excited.
Who you got for the women?
Oh, Father in heaven. Oh, sheesh. I don't know. I'm not mad at your pick for Stanford. I really always been a fan of Gino.
I just feel like they've been counted out and they're the defending champs. Like,
it is weird. It is.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like when you go into a season as a defending champ, you're the number 1 seed because you need to be beat. And they just
you got to beat me. I'm a champ.
And they haven't been. It's been South Carolina. So
yeah, I feel that. So if I had to pick, South Carolina.
You don't want to stay with Kentucky since you're already blue for the guys. I mean,
they balling. Okay,
exactly.
They balling. You know what? I'm gonna go Kentucky on both sides. What's good? Tell Stanford come see about us.
We will.
UConn, come see about us. South Carolina, come see about us. I'm gonna go all in. What's good? Kentucky on both sides.
Nice.
I don't remember the last time that was done where men and women's, the schools won. So I am. Let's get it. Let's get it, man. Look, we're not gonna keep y'all much longer than this, man. I am so glad that I got to do a show with my sis and everything that you got going on. Absolutely crazy. And I expect nothing but greatness from you, man. So
you as well.
We appreciate y'all, man. For real, just tuning in with us, kicking it with us. We lacked on the comments today, but I'm not gonna hold y'all to that. You know what I mean? Next week, episode 18. We got to do something crazy. Episode 25, we're doing something really, really crazy. Can't drop any hints or anything right now. But 25 weeks in a row needs to be celebrated. We're gonna come with something crazy. So I want y'all to be ready for that. Y'all got what? 17? Yeah, you got 8 weeks. 8 weeks,
guys.
From today.
Share, like, subscribe.
All day, every day. See how they get in contact with you.
Sports Talk with C on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok if you want to laugh.
Oh, man. I can share that sentiment, guys, only because I have laughed myself. Absolutely love it. I am Miles Austin on everything. You come holler at me, man. You want to talk basketball, college, women's, men's, NBA. Let's have a conversation. High school, we're getting into that a little bit more here in the coming weeks. But I am thoroughly excited for what we're about to see. March Madness is upon us. NBA playoffs are right around the corner. Let's have fun. Let's make this happen. But absolutely, we love y'all. Come check us out. Come talk to us. Social media. I'm going to give C's phone number out on the next show.
No, you're not.
Blow up her phone.
No, you are not.
I absolutely love it, man. Look, we love y'all and appreciate y'all always for tuning in. We are going to sign out. Miles Austin, beautiful C. It is what it is.
Hey, I got the power. I got the power. I got the power with me. I got the power. I got the power. I got the power with me. This how euphoria. Feeling so glorious. Forever victorious. Heart of a champion. I got the power with me. Go get the championship rings. I got the power with me. Power with me. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
And make sure y'all go follow the team, man. Sport Talk with C.
Again on the track.
Oh, yeah, it's like that. We out here. Y'all be easy now.
Peace out.
Yeah.